in the fold, Anton Forsberg to shore up the goaltending. Ken Holland's first offseason at the helm in Los Angeles. Naturally, with some of the moves that he made, Elliot, there was a lot of reaction to it. What do you
all
make
of it
of the
in
work?
my DMs? What the hell are we doing?
So what do you make of it?
A Kings fan. To me, it's exactly the same thing he did in Edmonton, right? Brought in veterans and tried to improve the team around the edges. Where did LA lose last year to Edmonton? Well, they had the series up. They didn't get the puck out in game 4. That hurt them. But also, as that series went on, like the fourth line, hammered by Edmonton. The third defense pair, hammered by Edmonton. The Gavrikov was exhausted. Like, those guys were exhausted by the end of that series, and Edmonton ran circles around them. That's what I think. Whether you agree or not with Holland's plan, this is what I think he was trying to do, is say, okay, I'm going to make my third pair Ceci and Dumoulin. I'm going to put Perry and Armia on the fourth line, and that's going to strengthen my fourth line. And I understand all of that. In Edmonton, people saw some of these moves and they were like, what on earth? And they turned out to be good moves. Now, they don't have McDavid and Draisaitl. They have some really talented players, but they don't have McDavid and Draisaitl. But I think that's the way Holland looks at it, is I'm going to try to fix it around the edges. Now, in a vacuum, I don't see a problem with Ceci and Dumoulin as your third pair. The thing that concerns me is your D has a lot of wear and tear on it. Ceci's a veteran. Dumoulin's a veteran. Like, it was funny, like someone said to me before free agency, give me one guy you guarantee is going to sign somewhere. And I said, Cody Ceci, LA. That is my $1 billion lock. And it's too bad I didn't bet $1 billion on it, because I wouldn't have to do this tonight. But like that
saved all of us.
Yeah. And Dumoulin, like someone told me, you would not believe how many teams were in on this guy. Like, he's a respected guy. He's a good player. He's filled in very well in a couple of different places over the past few years. I heard there was a ton of interest in him, which is why he got the contract. He got kind of like we were talking about with Jeannot in Boston. But the thing is, like, Joel Edmondson, I got all the time in the world for that guy. He's been hurt a lot. And Drew Doughty, and last year's injury was a fluke. You can't really say he's injury prone or anything like that. Like, there's 4 guys there, Ceci, Dumoulin, Edmondson, Doughty, that are older guys who've got a lot of mileage on them. Now, it doesn't mean they're not effective players, but that would make me nervous. I understand why people would look at that and be a little bit nervous about, will the group hold up? I think this is a massive year for Brandt Clarke. They traded Jordan Spence. I know some of the Kings fans weren't happy with the return. Someone said, I said, what would you have felt would have been acceptable? They're like, Batherson. I was like, come on, guys, you're not getting Batherson for Jordan Spence. Like, let's be realistic here. But they just felt they weren't happy with the return. Clarke, this is a huge year for him. I think this is a motivated player to take a step. But the thing is, there's onus on the Kings too, to let Clarke grow. Like, it can't just be, oh, here's a mistake, we're losing confidence in him. He's gonna make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. His end of the bargain is not making the same mistakes all the time, but they really have to commit to this guy for regular shifts, 80 games. It's time. Like, you look at what's around him on the blue line, you need him to get a shot to get to his full potential. You have to do this now. I think it'll be interesting. Kempe, I think he's going to want a big number, very big number. So it'll be interesting to see, do they get him signed? Does he go into the year unsigned? And, Gavrikov, they tried to do a sign and trade with the Rangers, fell apart, obviously didn't happen. It makes me wonder if LA ever really had a chance to re-sign him, or he was just determined to go to the Rangers. I don't really know, but he's a big loss for them. Like, I think he's a great player. I think that's a big loss. I do think they went, like we reported in our pod after the draft, that Rasmus Andersson had turned down a deal, or A team didn't make a deal with Calgary because Anderson wouldn't sign long term. I think that was LA, as has now been reported. I see what Holland's doing because I've seen it done before. My concern is the mileage on that blue line. Like I'm a little worried about that for them.
And you mentioned Brandt Clarke. Like, we see examples of it all the time. It's like our teams forget, almost some of the reasons why they drafted a player where they did. Like, it's all the things that wowed them about what they did in junior, and they're trying to, in a way, coach a lot of it out of them. Now, there has to be compromises in certain cases, for sure. But at the same time, as you say, the Kings being willing to bend, you still got to allow the player that made you excited in the first place do some of the things that got them, in a lot of ways, to
this
the NHL.
Has to go both ways. This has to go both ways. He can't make the same mistakes over and over again. He has to buy in, but they have to let him be untethered. He can't be looking over his shoulder. Can't play like that.
The San Jose Sharks, one of the funnest teams to watch last year. Didn't win all the time, but a lot of entertainment there with who they had in their lineup and what is still to come. I mean, you see now Michael Misa's added to the mix and who they got from the draft. So you can envision what this could look like in a few years if all goes well. But how does Mike Greer handle the in-between?
Who was your third grade English teacher?
Mr. Stobart.
I hope Mr. Stobart isn't listening to this and heard you say funnest.
It's late. It's been a long year.
It is late, and it has been a long year.
First I said $30.
But you know what? Like we've been going for almost 3 hours. Like, I'm surprised that's all we've done. Like, I'm sure when I listen to this pod on Sunday, I'm going to be like, this is unintelligible. I thought San Jose, like, to me, they're similar as Chicago. I think the one thing that San Jose's done a bit better than Chicago is some of the veterans that they've made their bets on, like Tyler Toffoli. He was perfect for them last year on and off the ice. Like, that was a home run. Alex Wenberg, I thought that was a good fit for San Jose. And even some of the other guys they've brought in, there's not a lot of term there, right? Adam Gaudette, who they signed this year, Dmitry Orlov and John Klingberg, who they signed this year. I even like the Nedeljkovic trade. Like, I think he's a really good partner for Askarov. So, like, I like San Jose's moves to bolster. Look, like the Blackhawks, Celebrini, another level. Eklund, another level. Will Smith, another level. One of the guys who used to play in San Jose told me that the thing with Smith was you kind of wondered if he believed he was good enough to make an impact. And in the second half last year, you saw that belief begin to manifest itself. Now, I don't think anybody knows yet for sure, is he a center, is he a winger? But at least now they started to